Anthony Hartwig here. We have a boys soccer coaches corner and season preview. Austin Town Fitch on tap. Anthony James, the head coach over there, coming to us to talk about their program. Anthony, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us.
It's my pleasure.
So before we talk about this season, all the exciting stuff you have, just a little bit of a recap of last year. What you think some lessons that could be learned for the returning players that got to experience last year. What you hope they come back from that experience.
I think what was unique about last year was my third year in the program. Uh, we had created a plan to at least try to get to win a conference championship by year three, and we were able to do that. Um, I think one of the things, obviously, that transpired throughout the year was the kids learning what it took to win, learning um, what it took for us to compete at a high level throughout the season with a limited roster, and the level of fitness, the level of attention to detail, and obviously we had been putting a style of play into our program within the first year. So by year three, I found that they were pretty much in tune with what the demands were that we were placing on them. So I think as we come into this season, even though we've lost quite a bit in terms of our offensive um, production, I still feel that things are in place for us to continue to maintain a certain level of success this season.
Like you said, you did lose quite a bit. Do you think the style of play has to change this year, or do you think you can go and
No,
play the
no,
same style, or
we
just put different
we
kids in the same situation?
yeah, I think we are who we are. We are a team that want to possess the ball. We were a team that wants to uh, play very expansive. We're a team that want to defend and press, together. So those things doesn't change, as you said. It's just a matter of every year, right? Every year you lose players, every year you gain players. So just plugging kids into roles that maybe they might have had a limited part in the year before. Now this is their moment to kind of shine, or to try to step up and be counted.
Like you said last year, you wanted them to kind of learn how what it takes to win a championship, and they did that. So now that you're going into this year with that experience, how much of an advantage is it that you have a lot of kids that kind of know what it takes to get to that point now?
Honestly, I don't even see it as an advantage. Soccer has grown exponentially throughout the U.S. In this state, and obviously in our local area. So, there was a time where we would travel to the north to play some of the best teams, right? That's what we felt we had to do. But over time, you realize that the teams that in our area, in some cases, were just as good or even better than these teams. So when you look at the conference that we play in, any given day, you're going to be matched up against a quality opponent who can hurt you in many, many different ways. So we don't see it as having an advantage, more or less acknowledging what we have to do to continue to be successful.
Let's talk about this roster and the guys that you're going to really lean on this year. Who are some names that we have to know before the season starts that are going to really be important to your success?
I think in our backline you have leaders in Hayden Bauer, uh, Rylan Ziak, John Richardson. We're going to be leaning on those guys a lot in midfield. Uh, One of our captains, Christopher Gazzoni, one of our leaders in Kata Kibla, and I think one of the best players around in Finn Wolf. Like a lot of uh, people around here, they highlight other kids. He's very unassuming, but he is going to play a major role, and he has played a major role since his freshman year and us being successful. And obviously, I think this year we're gonna have to rely a lot on Jackson Podkolnicki, who I think is arguably one of the best offensive talents in this area and arguably in the states. So um, we will see. We still have another short roster. Our freshman class this year, we have some talented kids, but maybe if physically they're not there as yet, but we're gonna continue to try to push them to see how they can impact at the season.
That roster is going to have to go up against a pretty good schedule. Let's start in the conference. Obviously, you play in the AAC. It's a small conference, but it's a good one. There's a lot of good soccer in that conference. Talk about what you see out of it and what you expect out of the conference this year.
We expect the teams in our conference to be very good. They have been very good for a long time. Be it Howland, Canefield, Boardman, um, Warren G. Harding. All these teams throughout the years have pushed us, tremendously. We have a lot of re- uh, respect for these teams, um, because again, on any given day, you can be beaten, and we've seen that obviously in the past, competing. So
Because your conference is smaller, you have a lot more opportunities to go and play out of the conference and test yourselves and get yourselves ready for tournament time. Who are some teams that you always like to go out and play that you know are going to give you really good looks and get you ready for tournament time?
right now, I think in the past, we will compete against. I think Saint Eves this year is going to be a challenge for us. Um, that's one of the teams we played in the preseason last year that we played very early on this year. Um, so we feel like that's going to be one of those teams that's going to really push us.
Since this is the first time we've been able to talk to you as a coach's corner, can you give us a little bit of background on yourself and kind of what brought you to Austin Town Fitch and your soccer journey?
My soccer journey is a unique one. Obviously, I immigrated to the U.S. back in the 90s. I played college soccer at Wheeling Jesuit University and fell in love in coaching while I was there. Um, took part in the club set up, founded my own academy, which I still run today. But I had a really fortunate um, opportunity to coach my alma mater on the women's side as a graduate assistant, and that led me to probably spending close to 17 years as a college coach on the women's side, whether it be at Division 2. Division 1 was my last stint at the University of Pittsburgh. Um, I've been very fortunate to work back then in the Olympic Development Program and had a stint with the U.S. U14 national team on the girls' side for close to four years. But what drives me is player development. So obviously in my academy, I focus tremendously on trying to develop kids. I think we've done a good job in the last 14 to 15 years in this area doing that. We've seen some of our kids move on and done some special things at the club and high school level, and that's part of unique thing about being a high school coach, right? Because you're competing against kids that you've developed or you've helped develop or is still under your care of development. And when you play against them, you don't want to see them fail, right? Like you want to win, but you don't want to see them struggle. So that's always sort of a tough um, aspect for me in coaching high school soccer.
Coach, we like to end these with the opportunity for you to talk about your staff and the people that are behind you that make this program what it is. So, who are some people that are intricate in building up this program with you that have really done a good job working with you for Fitch Soccer?
Well, let me put it to you this way: we've just lost three of the finest assistant coaches we had in Marcus DeBaldo, Giovanni Morton, and Brandon Morton. They started the journey with me and played an extremely integral part in helping Fitch get to the level we were at last year. Those three have since moved on. So this year we recruited uh, two of my former club players in Ben Bradley and Andrew Whitfield. And already I feel as though we're starting to create the kind of synergy we had with the previous group. So looking forward to working with them. Obviously, I think when you recruit coaches that you have a relationship with, a prior relationship with, it always works really well. I think thus far, they're working well with the kids, and I feel as though they'll be able to achieve some of the same things that our former assistants were able to achieve. Clearly, I'm very fortunate in that I have a very supportive athletic director um, in Russell, and we have a very powerful booster team that provides us with almost anything the kids need in terms of equipment, uniforms, meals, all those different things play a massive role in us being able to achieve the things we want to achieve.
Coach, the fans are super excited to see you. What's the first game? When's the first time they can come out and watch you guys play?
Um, let's see. I don't have my schedule in front of me, so probably that's a flaw of mine's. But I think I just took an L with that one because I don't have my schedule.
It's all good. We'll
Yeah,
find it out. We'll put it in the article for all the Fitch fans out there that want to get out there, and I'm sure it'll be all over social media because Fitch does a really good job running those accounts.
yeah.
Coach, we want to thank you so much for the time to come on and talk about your program. We appreciate it. We are so excited to continue our coverage of Fitch soccer throughout the year, and we will see you again real soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.